This is an absolute heist for the Heat. A brand new mock trade suggests that the Heat could go out and acquire multiple-time All-Star Kevin Durant for something of a discounted price. I'm here to break down the mock trade and why Heat Nation should be fired up for this version of Pat Riley. It seems like we're going to get this offseason. We'll break down all of that on this episode of Heat Digest, so let's not waste any time and get right to it in breaking down a brand new Kevin Durant mock trade. Now, we've discussed Kevin Durant at nauseum as of late on this channel for good reasoning, because it seems like that he's on his way out of Phoenix. Honestly, it seemed like he was on his way out of Phoenix this past season at the NBA trade deadline. Obviously, that did not happen, but it seems like the bridges have started to burn out in Phoenix between Durant and the rest of the organization, and it seems like the Miami Heat, a team that is looking to buy in this offseason and make a big splash this offseason, could be in a great position to go out and acquire the multiple-time scoring champion, the multiple-time All-Star in Kevin Durant. Now, Heat Culture on Twitter went on to post another mock trade, something we're going to be citing a lot on this channel during the offseason. And this mock trade is a bit interesting. And the reason being is because of the overall value the Heat would be sending back to the Phoenix Suns in exchange for someone in Kevin Durant, who we all know cost a whole lot to get to Phoenix. Now, Heat Culture went on to tweet this. The Miami Heat would then receive Kevin Durant in exchange for Terry Rozier, Duncan Robinson, Jaime Jaquez Jr., a 2025 first-round pick, and a 2030 first-round pick. Now, the 2025 first-round pick would be the 20th overall, as the Miami Heat just were rewarded or awarded that pick this past draft lottery. Now, with that being said, this overall trade package, if this were to be an option to go out and acquire Kevin Durant, Pat Riley should be on the phone right now saying, this is it, that we're done. We'll sign it now. Let's get it done. Let's do it now. I don't want to waste any more time. Do I believe that Matt Ishbia and the rest of the Suns organization will even answer the phone if they know this is the trade package on the other end? I firmly believe absolutely not. And the only reason, and I mean the only reason I would even say that, is because of the overall trade package it took to go out and get Kevin Durant. Now, obviously, Kevin Durant was playing for the Brooklyn Nets a few years ago. He got paid by the Brooklyn Nets a few years ago. But his tenure in Brooklyn did not last, as the Phoenix Suns and Matt Ishbia called. And when they called, they offered a king's ransom and then some. And we've broken this exact trade down recently on this channel for more than one reason, but we're going to do it again just to give some perspective on really how much the Suns spent in order to go out and acquire someone in Kevin Durant. Now, Durant and TJ Warren ended up with the Suns, but then the Nets received Mikal Bridges, Cameron Johnson, Juan Pablo Volet, I apologize if I'm mispronouncing that, a 2023 first-round pick, a 2025 first-round pick, a 2027 first-round pick, a 2028 first-round pick, a 2028 second-round pick, a 2029 first-round pick, and a 2029 second-round pick. That's all going back to Brooklyn in exchange for Kevin Durant and TJ Warren. And obviously, Jay Crowder ended up with the Bucks, and the Pacers got George Hill, Serge Ibaka, Jordan Newmar, as well as 3 future second-round picks from Milwaukee and cash considerations from Brooklyn. There are a lot, and I mean a lot of moving pieces. And this is not a 2-team transaction. This was a 4-team transaction, with a whole lot of moving parts. Now, Kevin Durant has obviously gotten older since this trade, obviously, because he's continued to play basketball and he can't stop aging. But with that, his overall skill and his overall production hasn't really gone down substantially. But with Kevin Durant and with Matt Ishbia paying that overall value and that king's ransom that he did to get him from Brooklyn, it makes me believe that he's not going to budge on an overall asking price, especially when it feels like there are going to be an ample amount of teams looking to try to acquire Kevin Durant this offseason. But if Zion Williamson, Giannis Antetokounmpo, as well as others take over the big basis of this entire offseason in the sense of big name trades and blockbuster trades that could be proposed, and Kevin Durant really goes like a rock unturned in the sense that no one's really calling on him. It's not an ample amount and a surplus amount of teams looking to acquire him this offseason. The Miami Heat could go out there and try to get him for a discounted price. Now, we know that the Phoenix organization really crashed and burned this past season, having Bradley Beal, having Kevin Durant, having Devin Booker, as well as a bunch of other really good pieces, at least on paper, as well as Mike Budenholzer at the helm at the head coaching role. It did not work. Mike lost his job just above halfway through this season, as well as obviously Nurkic losing his starting job, Bradley Beal being placed on the bench and being searched amongst the entirety of the league trying to move him despite having a no trade clause. Nothing ended up working. And then there was backdoor conversations about possibly moving Durant behind his back, which didn't seem to settle well with Durant. Now, because of all of those factors and everything really being played into the scenario, it seems like the Miami Heat may be a team that could go out there and really make a push to acquire someone like Kevin Durant. Now, we mentioned the overall trade value and the Kings ransom that the Phoenix Suns went out and paid for someone in Kevin Durant. They did the same thing with Bradley Beal, trying to get him from the Washington Wizards, as they acquired Beal, as well as Jordan Goodman and Isaiah Todd. But in exchange, the Wizards got Chris Paul, Landry Bilal Coulibaly, I'm mispronouncing it, I apologize, the number 7 pick from the Pacers, as well as an ample amount of draft picks for the years coming. And then the Pacers got one player and then 2 future second-round picks. There's a lot of draft compensation. There is a lot of overall compensation going between these two trades, including the Bradley Beal as well as the Kevin Durant trade. Now, to even assume that that Bradley Beal would be a part of this Phoenix Suns team is Jurassic, because, again, they tried to move him. But with the ransoms that the Suns were able to move in order to go out and acquire these two players, it leaves me hard to believe that they will be able to go out there and actually trade someone like Durant for something as little as Rozier, Robinson, Jaquez, a 2025 first-round pick, the 20th overall, and the 2030 first-round pick. If the Heat can get this done, they should be on the phone with Ishbia right now and trying to get this done before it becomes a bidding war amongst other teams trying to acquire Kevin Durant this offseason. Now, the last thing we're going to close out on from Barry Jackson, a beat writer for this Miami Heat organization, someone we cite on this channel a whole lot, gives a really good idea of why this might even be possible. And now, just give me some time to break this down. Barry Jackson goes on to subtweet this quote from Pat Riley where he mentions the idea of adding an aging star and how he wouldn't be opposed to doing so. Barry Jackson says, as I explained last week, trading for Duncan and cutting him and releasing Mikic and Cody Martin gets the Suns under the tax. So if that's a big deal to savor after spending hundreds of millions on a bad team for 2 years, that can allow the Heat to get Durant for a limited assets in Wiggins, Duncan, Jaquez, Larson, and a 20th pick from this year's draft, this up-and-coming draft. That could be a possibility. So obviously the overall trade value would be different from Rozier, Duncan, Jaquez, the first-round pick from this year, and the 2030 pick. But it could be Andrew Wiggins, Jaquez, Duncan Robinson, as well as Pelle Larsson, and that 20th overall pick from this up-and-coming draft. That is a bit more steep in the sense of what would be going from the Heat in exchange for Kevin Durant. But again, it could work out phenomenally and result in an absolute heist for this Miami Heat organization, transforming this team into more of a powerhouse offensively going into next season. Let me know down below what you guys think about these two possible trade scenarios for this Miami Heat team involving All-Star Kevin Durant, and if you would like to see it get done this offseason. Now, the last thing I will ask before we close out this video, out of the 3 main stars that it seems like there's a chance the Miami Heat can trade for this offseason, who would you rather see? With everything being taken into account, with the injury history, whether it be the weight issue with Zion Williamson overall, or the age in the sense of Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant, Giannis, or Zion Williamson, who would you rather have out of those 3 guys? Let me know down in the comments below, and I'll see you guys on the next episode of Heat Digest.